Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Fishcraft. I got a lot of stuff I need to do in today's episode, and I'm really excited to do it. Starting with this inventory, because, oh my goodness, I don't know what I've been doing, but this looks awful. And you probably noticed that I had a little bit of yellow wool inside my inventory, and that is because that is the new building I'm going to be building inside of Catfish. Big old bright yellow building that I don't know what it's going to be for quite yet, but I'm really excited to build it. Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention that while I was collecting the wool, I guess last episode, I accidentally, while I was in the sheep pen, I was shearing some sheep, and I think I might have missed one of them, and I hit the fence gate without without having realized. So when I came back this morning, all of the sheep they'd escaped. This pen is not very helpful now, is it? I mean, I may as well just let them out, honestly. Every sheep for themselves. Now, I don't know how much wool I'm gonna need for this building, but I've done a lot of testing in my creative world, and out of all of the buildings, other than my little fishmonger building, this one is absolutely going to be my favorite because I spent like 4 hours just staring at random shapes trying to think, what can I make to make this thing look good? And oh my goodness, I think it came out really good, at least in the creative world. But the problem is, I still don't know what to do with this building. Like I've got an idea for the big red building now. Thanks to you all, by the way. You all left such amazing comments on the last video, suggesting things that I could do for this big red building, and one of them stood out the most to me, and that was a tavern. Because I quite like taverns, especially since, you know, this one here was meant to look like one, and it didn't really turn out how I expected it to. So I think we're gonna right a few wrongs here, and maybe not this episode, but next episode, I think, we're gonna make this little building as tavern-like as we possibly can. Whoops. I completely forgot. I just went all the way to Catfish just to realize I came over here for a reason, and that's because before I got cracking on building out this new Catfish little building, there's one more thing I needed to do first, and that was to get myself a full set of iron armor, because I don't know if anybody's noticed or not, but I've been in gold armor since like the second episode, and I never really had any reason to get some better armor. But I mean, I may as well, right? I mean, this is survival after all. If I can prevent myself from being blown up a little bit, I think I'm gonna try. But I'm not gonna be upgrading to diamonds because, I mean, honestly, I don't need diamond armor. I need fish. I've just crafted up 3 pieces of armor. I left out the boots because I still really like my rain boots. And I don't want to get rid of them quite yet. So I've just got the helmet, the chest plate, and the leggings. I take it back. I'm all kinds of indecisive this episode. Oh my goodness. Now I feel like I should use diamonds because I'm probably going to spend all 136 levels enchanting these iron armors just so that they can have the best enchantments. So I may as well make it diamonds, right? Well, I mean, it looks ridiculous, but this marks the episode that I made my very first set of diamond armor, which I don't really like, so I'm just gonna... Yep, now that we've got all of our armor pieces crafted up, it's time to apply every single one of these enchanted books. And I'm worried that I might actually not have enough levels to do this. So we'll figure it out. We've got the barnacle boots, the river runners, then we've got the coral crest, and then finally we have the shimmering shell guard. This armor's lovely. And crazy strong, might I add. While on the topic of crazy strong, why is there so many monsters in this forest? I know it's a jungle forest, right? There's lots of shadows and stuff, but my goodness. I've been exploded by a creeper 3 times in this forest. Okay, well, I think I've got enough wool, but now I'm being attacked by skeletons. This forest is dangerous. Someone should really do something about that. Oh, it's raining. Oh, okay. I might have to put my resource collecting on hold for a moment. It's time to fish. 2 seconds. Oh, and can I just say, these diamond boots look so cute. Not as cute as you, of course. Oh, there goes the rain. You know what that means. It is time to finally... Hey! I was gonna say it's time to start collecting resources again and finish this building, but I'm gonna go back to fishing now. Right. Here we go again. Many fish later, and the rain is gone. I miss it already. But that's okay, because I'm excited to finally get cracking on building up this cute little yellow building thing that I still don't know what to do with it. Right. This video's gone on long enough without a single bit of progress. It is time for me to finally finish collecting up all the resources I need, and then get this little building all finished up. Wish me luck, everybody. I've got a lot I need to do. my goodness. This has been the longest time lapse of my life because unfortunately, about halfway through into building this thing, I lost all my footage and it corrupted. But I still managed to get the building all done, which is the only thing that matters. And I still had a really fun time jamming out during the little time lapse. I hope you liked that. That was way more fun. And on the whole, I think this little building turned out very beautiful. I tried doing the same shading type stuff that I did on this building with the darker stuff at the tippity top where I feel like a shadow would be, and I think it looked all right. This little top bit right here, this was not at all on the to-do list. This was completely on the fly, and I think it turned out pretty good. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot to talk about what I had in mind while I was building this, but I don't think I want to do this. So I originally was building this to be a house, right? That was, or a bakery or a shop of some sort where they sell bread and like they make cake and all that. But I remembered that this whole village right here it runs on fish, okay? So the fact that this guy, right, this person, whoever owns this, rolls up with bread of all the bread. Who eats bread over here? Not me. So I thought it was a little bit odd to have a bakery in the middle of a village that is run completely by fish. I mean, the currency here is fish, right? So if somebody comes by and they've got some stuff that they want to trade, they're gonna get some fish for it, or they better offer some fish for our inventory, which is fish. This doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Okay, moving on. I'm not sure what to do with this. So if you all have any ideas, please feel free to let me know, and I will do my very best to implement it into the next episode. At least I hope so. I also seem to be having a really hard time texturing this sandstone because it really just doesn't stick out very much when put next to the sand. I was really hoping that there would be a very clear distinction between the two, but from afar, it really just doesn't look that great, does it? We'll have to add that onto the list of things I need to try to figure out. But in the meantime, I'm going to quickly get rid of this barrel monster in 2 seconds. I've got a lot of sheep. You know what else I've got a lot of? Empty space. And it makes the rest of the village feel kind of weird, so I decided to fill it up with the jungle trees again, just to give me something to look at while I'm living here. And I'll take the trees down as I need to. Right, jungle trees out of the way. I have finally finished clearing up the little barrel monster I had, which means it is time to move on to the next part of the episode, which, fortunately enough, is... Oh, it's raining. Time to fish again. I am sorry if I'm doing a lot of fishing this episode. It's just, when it rains, I can't pass up the opportunity. I'm really sorry. There we go. We're finished up fishing, which means it's time for me to go and check out the shrine really quick. Or, not the shrine, sorry. That weird little fish statue that we saw last episode. Because I've been meaning to check on it to make sure there's no updates or anything. Although I don't know why there would be any. It's just a little statue, but I don't know anything really about these new updates. I don't check the logs or anything, so I don't know if there's any new stuff that happens. So I hear flopping. Oh, there's a little fish here! Oh, and he's got a name! Tod the Cod. Yeah, that's a pretty fitting name. Although I'm a bit curious as to why I have a flippity floppity fish at a flippity floppity shrine. I really don't understand this, but I think I need to hurry up and get a bucket because I don't know how long these little guys can sit in the water. But I've got my cod here. This is my friend. This is my little fish cod. So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put this cod away really quick, and then I'll come back and we'll pick up this little fish. There's some weird things going on in this world, which is a bit fishy. I think I've got an extra bucket in my valuables chest, and then head back to the statue and get this fish before they suffocate. That's pretty cool, though. Spawning fish, or not spawning fish, but you know, fish that pop out of big shrines and stuff. This Minecraft stuff that they've got here. All right. Oh, sorry. There we go, Tod. All right, cool. We've got a little cod in a bucket now. Tod the Cod. Such a cute little name for a fish. And now that we've caught the cute little fish inside of a bucket, it's time for me to try and brainstorm on what I'm supposed to be doing with this little fish here, because I really don't understand how a fish can just magically pop out of a weird fish-shaped statue in the middle of a forest. So give me a second, and I'll try to come up with something to do with this, because I just don't know. And what better way to brainstorm than to do a little bit of fishing? Oh, wait a second. If I'm trying to understand the situation, then I think there's really only one way I can do that, and that is to get inside the fish's mind. And to do that, I've taken some time to go and start developing a fish tank that I can store Tod the Cod inside of. And what this tank is going to do is basically serve as a translating device for the cod's brainwaves, and then output a message from a little mailbox saying what the fish is currently thinking. At least in a nutshell, that about sums it up. Okay, so now that we've got the idea of how we're gonna be able to communicate with this Tod the Codfish, or cod, or something, I don't know. We need to figure out how we're going to house this giant, crazy, mechanical fish tank that's very sciencey and very redstone intensive, might I add. No swashbuckliness going on in the back at all. Nope, just pure redstone and genius. We need to figure out how we're gonna house this thing, and I thought, you know, since I spend a lot of time already on this little dock, I could build some sort of research station right here. Just some little, just little guy, just little thing sticking out the side of the big rock we've already built, and I think it'll look really good. We'll have like a little winding path along the side, and then the little sea post outpost research station kind of just sticking out, and I think it'll look great. And that's what we're doing today. Okay, it's been some days since my last cut, and my goodness, have I been busy doing all kinds of research and developing of this tank. And it seems that after all this time, I can't find the right fuel source to power this tank except for one thing in this game. And unfortunately, that is gonna be a conduit, which means it's finally time for another little adventure, because I gotta go get some prismarine for the conduits. And unfortunately, that means I have to go find a a turtle. Oh, we've got a little turtle here. Oh, do you all want some seagrass? Hello, there we go. Are they gonna make babies? Oh, they did the deed. Let's see if they come up to the beach line here. Is that the mom? Is this the mom? Oh yeah, that's the mom, all right. There's the eggs. Oh, that gives me a really good idea. Perhaps in the future, I can get myself some turtle eggs, and I can use the turtles as my little assistants. My little assistants over at the research facility for the cod. Sorry, Tod the Cod. I also seem to be having some technical difficulties with my microphone, so I'm sorry if it sounds different from this point onwards. Oh, that reminds me, I need to pick up some glow lichen while I'm out, because I saw some comments on my last video saying that I should have put glow lichen on this little sea post instead of torches, and I don't I don't know why I didn't do that already. I am so sorry. Oh, wow. Look at that mountain stuff behind me. That looks nice. Oh, the ocean monument has been spotted, finally. Lots of shipwrecks around these parts as well. That's good. I need all of the hearts of the sea I can get, which I actually have. I have 4 of those, by the way. In all my travels and all my searching, that's how many hearts of the sea I managed to get. A whopping 4. That's pretty good, I reckon. Okay, now that we've arrived at the ocean monument, I need to collect 16 pieces of prismarine, because I think that's how many you need to activate the conduit. Maybe I should grab a couple more just in case I'm wrong. But if I can avoid hurting these little guardians, or the elder guardians, then I absolutely will, because they're just these cute little squiggly fish. Right, so let's just jump right into this and see if we can find maybe a couple pieces of prismarine straggling on the side and hopefully not get bonked. And then go inside like this. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. Don't mind me. Just grabbing some of your precious walls here. Definitely not sealing the foundation out from under your feet. Nope. Uh-oh. Time to go. 4 minutes of mining fatigue? What do you mean? Oh, I gotta go. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I was so scared. I think I got enough. I definitely have enough. Oh, we did it. Oh, I can't believe it. We made it. 5 minutes of mining fatigue just from getting close to the Elder Guardian. My goodness. If I ever am gonna beat these things, I need to bring a bunch of milk with me. I just realized the mining fatigue icon is a spoon. That's a bit odd. While on the topic of spoons, it's time to see if I got enough prismarine to get this conduit all placed up. So let's just pop into the water really quickly and see if we can get this structure placed. I think I remember how to do this. I remember a couple years ago, I made a tutorial on how to fully power a conduit. So I'm really hoping that after all this time it's finally come back around. All right, we just make sure there's a 1 block gap between the conduit and the casing, or whatever this is called, that powers it. Okay, well this is the first layer, and then this should hopefully be a fully powered conduit. I do have the conduit power, so I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this little conduit is in full functioning capacity. I don't think that was the word. Whoa, this is weird walking on the bottom of the seafloor. Hello. Oh, my conduit. Whoa, wait a minute. My conduit is attacking this drowned. That is so cool. Oh, I didn't know the conduits could do that. I just wish there was maybe some way I could toggle this on and off, because I want water breathing, but this thing just took out that drowned. And I didn't even want it to. The drown didn't attack me yet. I mean, sure, he was trying to. But innocent until proven guilty. Oh well. Hey, at least it doesn't hurt the fish. That's good. Uh-oh. I'm procrastinating again. I really should stop doing that. I'm so sorry. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's get this research station all fully finished. Oh my goodness. I have severely underestimated how long it would take to complete this little research station. I've been toiling at this for like a day and a half already, just collecting resources and placing blocks, and I'm not even close to being done yet. This is oh, my shaders are on, sorry. This is all I've got so far after a day and a half of working on this thing. I can't work on it anymore. I have to move on. I've got to upload this video tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And now we've got the conduit installed, which means the tank should be good to run at maximum capacity, or whatever you'd call that, I guess. I'm not a very good scientist. Which now brings me to the next part of the video, which is the grand tour of the little research station that I've spent so long built. Oh, I love this game. Back to the tour. All right, so from the little sea post right here, you've got a little walkway leading up to the front of the building, and yes, it's a bit of a design flaw, but this is the only way you can get up there as of right now. I should in the future probably put some ladders, but honestly, I don't know why I didn't do that. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, so you work your way from the sea post up the little side path, little winding side path here, and you've got all kinds of pipes and gears and stuff and some electrical units or whatever these are, I guess. And considering this whole thing is going to be about researching fish and such, I did add a giant hook here, just in case some really big specimens came in. And this is me trying to explain the pipes and stuff. Originally, this whole research station was supposed to be operated on coal. So yeah, this was gonna be a fossil fuel ran research station, but I ran out of time, so I'll have to put in the giant smokestack next episode. I'm so sorry. Anyway, my goodness, I didn't really do too much in terms of decoration and stuff. What I do really like is the new addition of these types of railing. Look at that. We got copper rods with the spruce trapdoors on top of it. I think that looks really good. I also added some over where I do some fishing, just because I really liked it. There also seems to be all kinds of green on the front porch and inside the building. And honestly, I've got no excuse for this other than disrepair seems to be my forte, and it looks really good. I really like the watery dripness. Okay, so you walk in. All right, you've got some more electrical units. Got electrical pipes, all kinds of stuff running through the water pipes and such. And then smack dab in the middle, you've got the crazy, magical, sciencey little fish tank that we've got Tod stored in, so that we can get his little thoughts onto some paper, so that we can understand what is going through that little noggin. My guess? Not very much. And in order for me to get this tank to run properly, I had to partner up with the greatest redstoner in the entire planet. But I had to have them build this tank for me and all of the crazy redstone components attached to it. So what this does is I talk to the fish, right? The glass is not soundproof or anything. They're able to fully hear us. It's got some speakers in there. They can hear everything we're saying to them right now. And then whatever thought pops into its brain after that is the one that gets read and then is run through a system that filters out anything that sounds like it could possibly be some sort of response to what it is I've said, and then is printed out onto a piece of paper and then dropped through a dispenser, which I don't really know where it is, but I quite like this. You know, I haven't even tried this thing out yet. I really should get on that. All right, let's run it for a little test drive really quickly. This is going to be my very first test of it, and all I do, I think, is just step on this pressure plate, and then There's the jingle. Oh, and there's the paper. Okay, cool. Moo. I think it might be a bit broken. Right. Let's try it again. That definitely isn't the right thing. All right. Fish. Okay. Hey, I like the sound of that. Oh, that reminds me. I've still got a fish and I have to upload this tomorrow. For now, it seems like this thing might be a little busted. Bloop. Uh-oh. Yeah, these definitely, they don't seem like very good responses. Glub. Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense. It is a fish after all. Bloop, glub, fish. I don't understand the fish part. This one seems to be a mild six. I mean, and moo. This is a total failure. The one that says fish, though, that seems to be a bit of a success because that's a real word. Fish. Are you saying you want me to go fish? Don't mind if I do. I think I might have to have a word with the person that put that little redstone stuff together because that was a disaster. I gave you one task, AG. How'd you mess this up? Come on. Anyway, I can assure you that whoever did this redstone is gonna have to get extra treats so that they can maybe do it better next time. Whoops. I forgot to clear out my inventory. All right, well, now that I've got my inventory all cleared up and everything is a-okay, I believe. I get to say it. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, it is finally time for me to do some fishing. And I do believe last episode I ended it at 27,060 fish. Now, I don't know how many I can catch in this episode, but I'll do my very best to do my regular 5,000. So without further ado, let us hop into some fishing. I do believe that is enough fishing for one day. I just fished for about 15 hours continuously, and I'm tired. I needed a nap. After all of this time, I managed to get myself to a whopping 32,023 fish total, which I think is pretty good for one day, considering I started at around the 28,000 mark, I think, because of the fish I caught on my rain trips. It might have been a little bit more. I forgot to check. But my goodness, this has been a really long day. And as the sun sets, I do believe I've run out of time for today's episode. So I thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Fishcraft. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next episode. Isn't that right, Jellycat?